Welcome to Zbrush Survival Episode 1. My name is Heriberto from Martian Atelier, and I'm going to show you how to sculpt a cape. We're going to use, well, any of the standard bodies included in ZBrush. Now, let's see, I think I'm gonna grab the dog. Dog deserves cape. So now I'm gonna get rid of the ugly perspective, and we're gonna have a nice orthogonal view. There you go. So, first off, let's. This is not the only way to do a cape. There are hundreds of ways you could go about it. You can create a plane and modify it. You could create a square with several polygroups. You could extract it, and that's pretty much what we're actually going to do. But there's a little trick that will make your life oh so much easier with clothing, with capes, and to tell you the truth, capes are really difficult if you're not doing this. I mean, they're kind of troublesome, not that difficult. Really. So let's get into it. First off, I'm gonna select a shader that doesn't suck. This is MP Chap 09. There you go. That now looking pretty, doggy. So how do you create a cape? Now the main problem with anything that's thin in ZBrush is that there is a big chance when you're moving it, things are going to collide. One plane will collide into the other because things are thin. Now, there are many ways to fix this. First off, you can use polygroups to group them. Second, you could use special move tools like Move Elastic that are better for things that have two sides that are very near to each other or need to keep a certain thickness. So, this is the way I will do it. So, let's add a cape to this dog. I'm going to divide it a bit, not too much, and I'm just going to draw a cape. I'm going to change into mask lasso. There you go. Remember, you can always change the type of masking you're doing with Control and clicking here. Or do like me and just have it way over here with a custom interface. Alright, so I'm just gonna draw something. There you go. I actually do not need for this to be very exact or to look like a cape at all. I just need to have enough so I can move things around. And I'm going to extract this. Now, I don't care about what it's going to give me. The problem with extractions, let me show them to you. Activate polygroups, solo. Now, good things and bad things about extractions. Which is what you get. Ragged edges, and that's because I subdivided the model and then extracted. The problem with not subdividing the model is that I'm going to get very loose, a very loose fitting extract. And well, a good thing about extractions is that you have polygroups for the edges, the top, and the bottom, which is pretty cool. But what I will do right now, and you can go several ways about this to simplify my work to the maximum, is this. I'm going to select the outer polygroup and split the polygons. Now I'm going to have two objects left. The first one, which you're seeing here, I don't need it. I only need the outer part. Also, I'm going to remove the edges. Split again, and I'm keeping this one. Alright, so as you notice, this is a plane. It has no thickness, which is good because we don't have to deal with, well, the other side of that thickness of this 3D object. So next step, it's optional. It's kind of bothersome for me to look at this and not see the other side. Well, this happens because normals are only facing on one side. If I want normals to face both sides, I actually need to go down my tool palette here and expand display properties. You'll notice there's a little button there called double. Click it, and now we're talking. Alright, so now that we're ready, we're going to go way up here in geometry and use C remeasure. By the way, C remeasure is super useful. I've moved it to my interface here as well. So I'm gonna press 1 and adapt, so that it will adapt the geometry the way it sees best. It will retopologize what I have here when I press the icon. There you go. Now that's still a lot of polygons. And by the way, I have symmetry here so that it will create a symmetrical polygon. I didn't have it before. So what I will do is press half and go through several iterations of the same shape until I get something like this. Why something so simple? Or heck, even simpler. There you go. Because this is easy to control and to shape. So you have symmetry, I move this about, and I create a nice, heroic, flowing cape. There you go. Now here's the cool part. This cape actually has really good polygon flow, it looks good, so I can divide it traditionally, which is way better than dynameshing for this kind of thing. Turn off symmetry, and you know what? Go to town with it. You can make this as simple or as complicated as you want. There you go, I'm just going to move some things around, and now I'm gonna use some brushes to create some folds. There you go, some big folds just as an example. I have subdivision levels so I can go back and forth between them. There you go. I mean, it's not the best thing in the world, but enough's enough. I'm going to divide sometime, just a couple times, and I'm just going to press some details. I mean, just trying to get this to look half decent. You're my hero, dog. He looks so dashing with his cape. Very subtle. Much extract. Alright, we're done. So, what will I do now? Here's the best part about this. First, this has subdivision levels. So if I enter pose mode, well, T-pose mode, really, in T-pose mesh, by the way, I have it over here, well, I can pose it. If I want to have thickness, this is something I would recommend doing at the end of your image model, whatever. This is the last step, really. Select everything. Select a suitable subdivision level, I mean, I'm not gonna go over 7, and extract with whatever thickness you want. Now, this is going to take a bit of time. Yep, a bit more of what I wanted, but what you're going to get is actually a cape with real thickness and all the details you already had in there. There you go. Accept. I always hide this object for future reference or if I need it. And there you go. Now thickness is good all across the board. You can use this, remesh this, bevel the edges, and move the different polygroups if you want different, a bit of variation here. If you want to smooth out the edges, you're good to go. This is how I will do a cape. Alright, so we're going to try one last example before we're done today. So let's just say Superdog here just decided to switch sides to the dark side of the wolf, the dark side of the Borg. They got cookies, they got treats, and no human to order them around. Nobody's a good boy over there. So, and to, well, to show his commitment to utmost evil, he's going to wear a ragged cape. I mean, he probably saw this somewhere in a comic in the 90s. Here you go. So I'm just going to invert my selection and extract again. Now, why don't I just delete what I had anyway? Well, one reason, mostly because it'll leave ugly looking pixels on the side. Try it, you won't like it. well, not pixels, like polygons that look kind of as if they were pixels. So I'm going to go reverse engineering here and do what I did before. Split mask points, delete. There you go. Now, I'm kind of messed up. I deleted the side I didn't want to delete, but it's kind of the same on the other side, so I'm just going to go here in display properties, flip. There you go. Now we got a suitable, evil looking cape thing I can move around. And of course this has a problem the first extract had, that, well, it's too complicated, it's too large, I cannot move it around well, and if there's a rule in ZBrush, is that low poly is best to start. And subdivision levels are king. So what I will do is basically do what I did before. Zero measure 1, and I will not click on adapt, deactivate it, and press half. Now half, if I keep going at it, it will reduce and reduce and reduce the polygons until I have something I can work with. Half and adapt will kind of remesh that if you do not get good results, but I like this. So what I will do is pause this. Notice that I have so much more flexibility with this. I can pose it really evil. I can even use masking and other tricks here. For example, let's apply a mask here and rotate it. By the way, I softened the mask. Just in case you don't know how to do it, it's super easy. Press Ctrl and click on whichever part you're masked. You've masked. Sorry, English is not my first language, and I'll get better at it. Anyway, if you have questions, this is a good time to tell you that you can contact us in the comments. We'll do our best to answer. Suggest future topics. Yeah, you can do it. Empowering. There you go. So I'm going to divide this like 1 or 2 times at the most. 1 time is good. I'm going to press extract. Accept it. Of course, you can edit the thickness. There you go. Evil cape a go. Now there are other ways of doing like broken, ripped capes. This one's especially good for 3D printing because it's thick and it works. You could also do this with light boolean, but light boolean, something we'll have to talk about some other day. Now we're going to leave Evil Dog here to fulfill his dark destiny, and I'm going to invite you to visit us at Facebook at Martian Atelier. I'm gonna place a link here, and I'll be seeing you super soon. Thanks a lot for sticking by with my bad English and my terrible sense of humor. We'll see each other soon, and may all your polygons contain subdivision levels.